At what point does one person stops caring? At what point does a person stop being overly sympathetic? At what point does a person become apathetic? At some point, the outrage stops and the person just becomes apathetic to where they just doesn't care anymore. And this is where I'm at when it comes to the state of the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Now, I've expected this because I've only been saying it throughout the whole preseason, before the preseason began, when I talked about how this team came into the season with the wrong mindset. When you have Westbrook saying that turnovers don't count in the preseason, that I'm not going to change my game, and LeBron comes out saying that I'm in year 19, there's nothing I can learn at this point. And from at that point, when they made those comments, I already knew it was going to be trouble on them Dar Hills. They had a cupcake schedule in the beginning, plus a lot of those games were at home. And they couldn't take advantage of the cupcake schedule, and they were losing games at home. And what was the excuse then? You had Kendrick Perkins saying that, oh, there's nothing to worry about. This team, veteran team, and then they were also saying that, oh, we need to give it time because this team needs time to develop and need chemistry, and after about 25 games, then we'll see what this team is like, and everything's gonna be all right. Except everything wasn't all right. It was anything but all right. Now, I told anyone that was willing to listen about the warning signs before the season even began, before they even before they even played a preseason game. I laid out the warning. And what happened? I got called a hater. People were saying, "Oh, LB, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit about basketball, right?" All this dick licking, lip smacking, purple pill popping I was getting in my fucking chat rooms and comment sections and shit. I told y'all this wasn't gonna work. Now, as a Lakers fan, you got to hold out on hope that they were able to turn this thing around. But they did not turn it around. If anything, it's gotten worse. Now, they got booed out the arena last night, and justifiably so. LeBron out here throwing lazy passes. Motherfucker had I don't know how many turnovers he had last night. I knew it was like 7 or 8. Russell Westbrook got there playing like a goddamn Tasmanian devil, turning the ball over. Right? It was just, it just comes to a point. It's one thing to, lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Milwaukee Bucks clearly the better team. Clearly, right? It was one thing to lose to the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a whole nother thing losing to the Portland Trailblazers after they traded and got it half their team. I got outraged by that. But by this last night, losing by 30 to the New Orleans Pelicans. 30! Getting your motherfucking head blown off at home. I ain't got nothing else to say. I don't know what else there to say. I mean, how can someone sit up here and justify this? Huh? Man, I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh man, bro, man, he got to carry a team, man. He's the architect behind what's going on right now. So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit. Straight up. The fact of the matter is this: is this. They're not good. They're not going to make the playoffs. Okay? They're not going to make the playoffs. Even if they just so happen to make the play-in game, that's going to be a one-and-done affair. Right? Now, to the dude that bet me saying that the Lakers was going to make the playoffs and all that, just go ahead and give me my money right now, bro. I gotta look back in the archives and see who it was that bet me, right? Go ahead, cut your losses and give me my money. That was unacceptable last night. That was unacceptable last night. I don't know how could someone sit up here and believe this team can make the playoff. AD is going to be out like at least 4 weeks. He's going to be reevaluating 4 weeks. But he's proven that you can't count on him for anything because he's not available. And then when he is available, right? Every once in a while you get a lightning striking a bottle performance from him. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. Now I told y'all before the season began, if they didn't take advantage of that cupcake schedule, that they was gonna be in trouble. They had that cupcake schedule in the beginning. They had a lot of those games at home in the beginning, and they were losing those games. And what did I tell you? If you're going to be labeled as a championship contender, you have to beat teams you're supposed to beat. They did not beat teams they were supposed to beat, and as a result of that, they got put behind the 8 ball. And now the chickens have come home to roost. The chickens have come home to roost. They got a hell of a fire schedule. They still got to play Golden State 2 more times, including the game coming up Saturday night. So they still got to play Golden State 2 more times. They still got to play Phoenix 2 more times. They still got to play the Clippers 2 more times. They got Washington coming to see them, and you know Kyle Kuzma's gonna want to show his ass. The Wizards come to Staples Center, and then the Lakers come to DC to play the Wizards. And you know Kyle Kuzma is going to want to get up for those 2 games. They hammers the future trying to chase championships, and it's backfired. I said the Lakers should have never traded Kyle Kuzma, and you had people telling me that I didn't know what I was talking about. That I was on cap. That Kyle Kuzma was trash. You even had motherfuckers signing petitions for Kyle Kuzma not to get that championship that they won back in 2020. I said then that trading Kyle Kuzma was a mistake. Right? Now, Kyle Kuzma out there balling in Washington right now, and all you motherfuckers that was out there talking that shit to me about how Kyle Kuzma was trash and he ain't shit and all that. Y'all motherfuckers gonna give me my goddamn apology, cause I was right. I know what I was talking about. You guys don't know what you're talking about. I know what I was talking about. When you got a guy that was starting for 2 years, and all of a sudden you asking a guy that was starting for the first 2 years of his career, asking him to come off the bench. And then you're also asking a young guy not only to come off the bench, but to play less minutes. So if you play less minutes when you was a starter coming off the bench, right? When you was playing over 30 minutes, and then now you coming off the bench and you playing less than 20 minutes, then of course your production's gonna go down. Of course you could take a back seat to LeBron and AD. But y'all blind mice don't see that. And instead of you blind mice smelling the cheddar cheese, you motherfuckers smell the Limburger cheese, and now you got eggs on your face because I told you. I fucking told you. Kyle Kuzma could have been the Laker that they built around. They could have built the Lakers around Kyle Kuzma. But no, I didn't know what I was talking about. LB, old cap. LB don't know shit about basketball. Yeah. And you know, I get a lot of guys that come on here, and a lot of guys are really knowledgeable about basketball. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about those dick licking, lip popping, nut bubbling fans that be out there. All in LeBron James contingent, right? All them motherfuckers, man. They're disgusting, man. Let's sit up here and talk about somebody a hater. No, you's a motherfucking clown. You's a motherfucking clown that need to be off the back of a damn hatchback putting on a show at the circus. You got people paying their hard-earned money to go out there and watch that last night? It's going to be it. Man, look, this team ain't going nowhere, okay? This team is not going to the playoffs, okay? Period. Barring some miracle, right? And that miracle involves somebody popping out of the bottle and LeBron getting 3 wishes and shit. Now, how can, well, when it comes to the LeBron James dick licks in the media, like your Toucan Sam's Nick Wright and your triple goat mouth Shannon Sharp and all that, right? Now, Shannon Sharp, to his credit, right? Well, a pinch of credit, right? I've heard him come out and go against LeBron. I've actually heard him on some occasions hold LeBron James accountable. But Nick Wright, I would never get that out of Nick Wright. Ever. I would never get that kind of satisfaction from Beaky Buzzard, okay? I will never hear the words coming out of that goddamn culture vulture's mouth about holding LeBron James accountable for anything. So when you look at the grand scheme of things, this was a lost season. It was a lost season. And the Lakers, in my opinion, need to hit the reset button when this season's over. Now, they really do need to consider hitting the reset button, which means there's going to have to be some moves made, which means going to have to be some trades made. Now, there was an article came out a few days ago referring to him possibly going back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers already threw cold water on that. The Cleveland Cavaliers already threw cold water on that notion. They are not interested in bringing back LeBron. They want to win a championship without him. So, him going back to Cleveland, that's not going to happen. Now, someone could come on and try to tell me that, oh yeah, it's going to happen. They're going to no. They already threw cold water on that. Cleveland Cavaliers are not interested. Cause see, look, when the first time, okay, things happen. The second time, right, you start to reevaluate and you start to find yourself, right? Because after that second time, you're not going to get a third opportunity to fuck me. Nope. And we've got success now over here without set name, right? It's like being in a relationship. You've been with this girl for, however long, right? Off and on. You decide, you know what? You decide that, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with this girl no more. And you find success without this girl, right? And this girl comes back. She comes back in your life, asking you to take her back, asking you to do this, that, and the third with her. But yet you decide, you know what? I don't need no more of this bullshit from her. And while I was with her, I was constantly being berated. She constantly complaining to me about this, that, and the third. I could get absolutely nowhere. And you left feeling miserable being with this person. No matter how great the sex was, no matter how much good times y'all had together, at the end of the day, you still felt miserable. Despite the fact that sex was bombastic, despite the fact that there's this physical attraction and a mental attraction when you beating off to her at night. But she still made you feel irrelevant. And you found success without set name person. And now, since you found success with set name person, without set name person wants you to take her back. Set name person wants you to, you know, rekindle what we had in the past. Nah, I'm good. Carry your ass on. And that's what the Cleveland Cavaliers have done. Nobody, not even myself, expected Cleveland to be the way they are right now. They're still fourth in the East. Despite all the injuries they had, whether it be the Colin Sexton, whether it be the Darius Garland, whether it be the Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, they battled COVID. They battled, Ricky Rubio was out for the year when he was balling. Now they had to trade him for Rondo. Now Rondo's hurt. They brought in Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert, he got hurt. He's going to be out like a couple weeks, and they're still winning. JB Bickerstaff is the fucking coach of the year. Period. Look, look, Memphis, somebody gonna make a case for Memphis, right? For being in the Western Conference, all right? But the thing was, Memphis was already on the upward trajectory, right? So you're gonna make a case for Memphis. Some people gonna make a case for the Chicago Bulls and Billy Donovan. I understand that team was on the upward trajectory as well. Nobody thought Cleveland was gonna do anything this year. Nobody. And since we're gonna use last year as a case study, because I made the notion that Monty Williams was gonna be coach of the year, right? You had a lot of Knicks fans come out saying, well, nobody thought that the Knicks was gonna do anything, so that's why you gotta give it to Thibodeau. So we're gonna take that case study of last year, right? Now, despite the fact Phoenix was top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency, what they point to? Oh, well, they had Chris Paul. They got Chris Paul. But Chris Paul, so one player that, so y'all telling me, right, that even though the Phoenix Suns ain't made the playoffs in 13 years, the Knicks ain't made it in 10. Okay, but the Phoenix ain't made it in 13, right? And then Phoenix didn't make the. What was the other point? There was another point, but the fact of the matter is this: nobody thought the Knicks was going to do what they did last year, and that was the justification for giving it to Thibodeau. Well, I need y'all to keep the same energy and apply that principle to JB Bickerstaff for the Cavs. All right? That's all I'm going to say about that. But going back to this team here, right? Where do they go from here? Where do this Lakers team go from here? Because right now, the state of this franchise is in dire straits. What's up, y'all? I see y'all in the building. Who else is in? Maximus Royalty, Swish Life Media, Libra King 601, Eric Johnson, the homie. Lil Rock 44, salute to you. Alex Heron, salute to you, my brother. Make sure you hit the like button and share these videos, man. I'm just trying to tell people the truth, man. I ain't got no bias. I ain't got no horse in the race, man. I'm just trying to call it for what it is. That guy Spencer, what's up, man? I'm just trying to call it for what it is, man. This team ain't no goddamn good. I mean, you just let goddamn on CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram, he got a disdain for LeBron. Brandon Ingram was a former Laker. You don't think Brandon Ingram don't got a chip in his shoulder when he going back to LA? Right? You don't think when Kyle Kuzma get there for the Wizards, you don't think he gonna have a disdain for him? Man, look, I won't be surprised if Kyle Kuzma go out there and gets like a triple double on the Lakers when the Wizards play him. Kevin Wedderburn, what's up, man? Let's look at the schedule for the Lakers right now. All right, we're gonna look at the Lakers schedule from here on out because this provides context. So they play Dallas on Tuesday. They play Dallas on Tuesday. They as a home away from home against the Clippers on Thursday, March 3rd. Then on Saturday, they play the Warriors at home. All right, so they got a home game against the Mavericks, a quote away game against the Clippers on Thursday. Then on Saturday they play the Warriors, right? Then they go to San Antonio next Monday. They go to Houston next Wednesday. The Wizards come to town Friday, March 11th. Mark that date. That's Kyle Kuzma Day. All right, Kyle Kuzma Day, Friday, March 11th, right? They play Phoenix on March 13th. They go to Phoenix on March 13th, right? Then the Toronto Raptors comes to town on a back-to-back March 14th. March 16th, they go to Minnesota. Then they go to Toronto on March 18th. And then they have a back-to-back in D.C. against the Wizards. I've got to go to that game. Then they go to Cleveland on March 21st. Then they get the 76ers at home on March 23rd. March 27th, they go to New Orleans to play the Pelicans. March 29th, they go to Dallas to play the Mavericks. March 31st, they go to Utah to play the Jazz. April 1st, they're home against the Pelicans, the same team that blew them out last night, right? April 3rd, home to the Nuggets. April 5th, they play their final game of the season against the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. They play their final game of the season against the final game of the series against the Warriors on April 7th. They get OKC at home on April 8th, and their last game of the NBA season is April 10th when they go to Denver to play the Nuggets. Yep. Yeah, you sure? You damn right we hadn't won 5 games last month. What's up, Kashif? B Skrills, what's up, man? Salute to y'all in the building this morning. Make sure you hit the like button. Man, this schedule is fucking brutal. But this is what happens when they couldn't take advantage of the cupcake schedule they had in the beginning. And they were struggling against those teams. It's not like they were that cupcake schedule they had when they couldn't take advantage of, and then games they won. It's not like they were blowing those teams out the water. It'd have been one thing if they were blowing those teams out of the water. And I'm like, okay, we got something to build off of. So at this point, man, I don't know where they go from here, but I know after the season they got a lot of questions to answer when it comes to the superstars and all that, right? And this right here proves something. Just because you know how to bake a cake doesn't qualify you to be a baker. And what I mean is, just because someone is talented in the game of basketball does not qualify them to be a talent evaluator. Just because someone's a talented basketball player doesn't give them carte blanche to be a GM and handicap a team. Now, I'm all about player empowerment, right? And players got to have some kind of say when teams trying to project where they're going at. But at the end of the day, the GM has a scouting department. And this is why I point back to the scouts. This is why I point back to the GM, right? You guys got notes on these motherfuckers. You've played these guys for years. You've seen their habits. You got these guys on film. You got these guys on in a notepad listing their attributes, their strengths, their weaknesses. So having all these notes about their attributes, their strengths, their weaknesses, where are they good at, what are they not so good at, all this shit. And yet you still bring these motherfuckers on thinking you're gonna change them. That's like putting a gun in your head and pulling the trigger at that point, and I ain't got no sympathy for you. What's up, that guy, Spencer? Yeah, man. Look, Russell Westbrook always had that mentality. He always carried that mentality with him. He does not look. Some of these guys, their form of winning is getting themselves and their family out the hood. Winning a championship in the NBA is not a priority to them. Getting their family out the hood is the priority. And as long as they're able to, sign that contract that net them millions of dollars that will enable them to get themselves and their family out the hood, whatever, based on whatever situation they were in, hey, that's winning a championship to them. Now, that doesn't mean that's Russell Westbrook's situation, but the fact of the matter is, Russell Westbrook always carried that mentality with him, is that, if I win a championship, I'm good. If I don't win a championship, then it is what it is. Now you don't care about winning, which begs the question, why would you don the Lakers uniform? And if you're this lifelong Lakers fan, then he should know the expectations were coming with donning the purple and gold. If he was this lifelong Lakers fan, he should know the expectations when donning that purple and gold uniform. Anything less than the championship this season is a failure. Period. We don't care about a division title. We don't care about no Western Conference Finals appearance. We care about going to the NBA Finals and winning it. Period. Look, I remember when the late great Kobe Bryant donned the cover of Slam magazine. And in that quote, it said this: winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. I'll repeat that one more time. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Anything less than that is a bust. It's failed. That's why he's celebrating in LA. That's why we can recognize this man as top 5 dead or alive. That's why there's murals all over the city of LA about Kobe Bryant. Now, say what you want about him or whatever like that. Don't disrespect the dead, right? Don't disrespect nobody that's not here to defend themselves. And we've seen a lot of people who don't know nothing about basketball. They all up in media. They all mainstream media. They all up on social media, desecrating, diminishing, and devaluing a top 5 dead or alive player in Kobe Bryant. That's why there's murals all over LA with Kobe Bryant. There's a statue of him outside of Staples Center. That's why he was well received and well revered at the All-Star game, because of the time, energy, and sacrifice he put in to the organization. He put into the city to go out there and perform every night despite all the injuries, all the media criticisms, all that shit, right? False rape accusations, all that. He still went out there and did his motherfucking job. He didn't quit. It was just age and attrition that quit on him. His body quit on him. But the motherfucker got a heart of a lion and nuts of an elephant. I know what greatness is. I know what greatness looks like. Great Lakers players have won multiple championships. Great Lakers teams has won multiple championships, not just one. You can't call yourself winning one championship. You can't call yourself winning one championship and all of a sudden, job done. You can put me amongst the Lakers greats. Nah, it don't work like that, and it ain't gonna go down like that. Period. But that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys let me know what y'all think about this. If you support what I do, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal, and I'm catch you on another video. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. Shouts out to the LDBC, Lions Den basketball community. This your man. Scream at me. Oh!